when we find out you're part of that silent plan. How did you get informed that, dude, we watch your back?
I really didn't think it was done for me. I remember running into James Callis. Grace and I were celebrating my birthday party. This is in the middle of the mini-series. James was like, we ran into him on Robson Street, Vancouver, and he's like, no, seriously, they love your work. You've done an excellent job. Here's just bringing you back. And it was nice. It was a nice compliment. I really didn't take it seriously. Even in my limited experience at that point, I knew that you really couldn't put much weight on anything like that. When we actually finished the mini-series, though, the cast went out for a dinner, and I stopped by. I wasn't actually there. I stopped by for a drink afterwards. And Eddie pulled me to the side. And that's when I actually started maybe taking it seriously, because he's like, you did great work, man. Yeah, awesome job. These guys are going to bring you back, man. You're coming back. And even then, that was huge for me. Like, I mean, I got Edward James Olmos, one of my idols, telling me that I did a great job on the show. That was awesome. So I took that, but at the same time, I'm a very practical person. I didn't believe in it in any way. I didn't get a call from these producers telling me I did an excellent job, other than what James and Eddie said. So I actually went on to another series after that, Canadian series, Cold Squad, and that ended up getting axed. And yes, 5 people have seen it. It's perfect. And in 06, yeah, do you remember this now? Anybody who's seen it, this was one of the original leads. Yeah, I didn't get the chance to work with Michael. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so that show ended up getting axed, so I went down to LA like all actors do, and I went down for pilot season, and I was looking for a job, and I had 3 of the worst auditions of my entire life. And when that happens to an actor, by the 3rd one, you're convinced that that's like, I was like, I'm not acting, this is a joke, what am I doing? I can't fool people anymore, this is horrible, I'm never gonna work, this is that, it's over. I get home, I get a call on my answer machine saying, from the executive producer of Cold Squad saying, sorry buddy, show's been axed. I'm like, oh God. Because you know, in the back of my mind I was like, I still have Cold Squad. So I had about a week of depression, and then Ron Moore called me up. He said, look, we've got this idea for a storyline on Planet where you listen to live and it's running around Caprica. I'm like, where do I sign it? Come on, baby, come on.
$1 million for your service, cash, small bills, undetectable, right here.
Is that Paul? I think it might be.
What do you think?
I don't understand the code, Paul. But
What, you didn't get that?
I can't remember.
It took 30 minutes.
Oh yeah. Okay, man.
He got it, $1 million in very small bills. I gotta tell you, man, you are the best. This is my first con in the United States of America in my entire life. We said it, and so has all the guys that have been coming for the last 3 to 4 years. Aaron has been the most dedicated. And saying thank you to all of you for being the kind of people that you have been with us. You guys have been fantastic. And he always said, you should go, you know, and of course, Michael Hogan and myself saying, it's okay, man, thanks. Thank you very much. And, you know, always thinking, you know, gosh, you know, that's not really what we got into this for, and do the whole thing. And, you know, thank you very much, man, no, thank you. And then this is our first one. Michael Hogan's my first one. And we got to thank you so much for making this the most memorable time I've ever spent in public in my life.
In your mind, what do you think was the initial attraction between Saul and Ellen back in the day?
Codependency?
That's fairly obvious. Spirit. This is such a big question, it takes 2 microphones to answer. We are kindred spirits, and we share the same tastes, and I can't live with her and I can't live without her. I was so happy to see Ellen climb up and come into Galactica when I thought she was dead in the episode that Eddie directed, Tie Me Up and Tie Me Down, when she was introduced. But inside it was, oh my God, so what are we going to do now? Because if we were on a planet, we could get together, I would see that she was all right and that she would have her place and I would have my place. But she's on Battlestar Galactica and she has to share my quarters. And there's just no way around it, so I can't, it's an impossible relationship when we are that close. But I love her and I hate her, and I think that sums up a lot of relationships. And working with Kate Vernon, who Eddie cast, thank God, there's really no acting required, man. They say action and away we go.
Speaking of those two in the show and the scenes that they've shared together, I mean, you remember when Saul has to kill her, man, that scene had me weeping. And then even more so, you want to talk about like powerful moment. I was in the hangar bay when we did the scene where he gets off the Raptor, you know, after Galactic comes and saves him. They don't even have any dialogue at first. I can't even hear their line where it's like, what was the line exactly, Eddie? You say, it's good to have you back, or not everyone made it, or something. Anyway, Saul basically says, yeah, not everyone made it back, right? I mean, I was watching that from 30 feet away, and I could just feel it, man. I was like, I was getting choked up even watching it. Anyway, I'm constantly amazed at the talent of this show. So touching. It's the most beautiful work I've ever seen.
You know, it also helps to be a big man. And Ty is a big man. So women love it. Tie me down.
That the show can deal with versus civil liberties and the greater good.
I think the show is one of the strengths of the show. Firstly, the show is greater than the sum of all of its parts. It's a very unusual phenomenon. But secondly, by having Cylons that look like humans, we're constantly asking ourselves to address what it means to be a human being. And on that level, you know, when you're afraid about a threat from within, it's not necessarily about, you know, curtailing the civil liberties. It's about almost looking in the mirror and trying to fathom exactly what it is that makes you tick, and how different you might be to a synthetic robot that looks pretty much identical to you. Or in my case, Patricia, somebody looked a lot better looking.
Go ahead. You know, sort of related to that, one of the things that Ron and David said from the word go is that they're not doing their jobs. If you don't, at least once an episode, ask yourself, I root for the wrong team. So it makes you, turn on and look at ourselves. And I think one of the joys of the show, one of the strengths, is that if you read some of the blogs, some of the blogs, both left and right hail it as a fine example of liberal values and a fine example of conservative values, and everybody finds something to grasp onto and say,